How's it going, losers? In today's video I'm going to be talking to you about injuries and how to manage them effectively, how not to make them worse, and how to get past them as quick as possible so you can get back to training at full capacity and making all your gains. Unfortunately, I am an expert when it comes to injuries because it was a back injury that derailed my judo career however many years ago, and I've had a few procedures on it, but as a positive from that, I suppose, I have spent countless hours in rehab and I've got a really good understanding about how to manage it, my back, and know when to pull back, and I still can't operate quite at full capacity, but I think all things considered I'm doing all right, and I'm still lifting heavy, I'm doing all my judo and BJJ training, and I can do all that without re-crippling myself. Touch wood and all that. I've got a wooden door here, touch wood. So yeah, I'm just going to depart all my knowledge, if that's even the saying, on you guys and just give you a few pointers to follow so that you're not crippled wrecks. So the very first thing, if you pick up a little niggle or maybe just a kind of minor injury and something that's maybe not too catastrophic, please don't make your injury worse. And as a rule of thumb, you always want to use pain as your indicator. So if you feel like something's getting worse progressively, then the odds are it's getting worse. If you feel that it's not getting worse, then the odds are it's not getting worse. So don't just train through it. By all means, try and train around it. But if you're doing an exercise or a movement and you feel the injured area is like getting sorer and more painful, and obviously as a result not getting any better, then that's when you need to reconsider and think about dropping the exercise or movement. If you just keep pounding the muscle in the joint and feel it getting worse, don't expect you to magically wake up one day and for it to actually just get better overnight, because it's just not going to happen. Now, some injuries will just drift with a little bit of time, and that may just mean that you just don't have to train that area for a little bit and just let it rest, and then it will just get progressively better. However, some injuries, and I'm going to put this in a way that I normally put it to my clients, is you normally have to like force it away, so you have to actually do something to make it get better. Which brings me on to my next point, which is do your rehab. So many people get an injured area and they'll maybe start to do their mobility work or their strengthening work, whatever it is, and they'll do it for a little bit, and I will concede it is one of the most boring things in the fucking world, but you do need to do it, and sometimes just not working that area isn't enough to actually make it go away. You have to actually force away and do your mobility work, loosen the area up, strengthen it up with rehab exercises, train light on it, whatever it may be. But don't just think that it's going to just magically drift, because sometimes you do have to just do that extra little bit of work to make it go away, and that is what's going to make it get better. And then another mistake that people make is when the injured area does start to get a little bit better and they can start to train on it pretty normally again, they'll just drop all their mobility work in rehab. And lo and behold, a few weeks go by and the injured area gets aggravated because you're no longer doing that mobility or strengthening work, whatever it is, depending on the type of injury. So please, even if the muscle and joint and everything's starting to feel okay again and you're training pretty normal and building your strength back up, keep on top of your rehab. That's what's going to keep it healthy, and eventually you will get to a point where whatever restrain or whatever it is you've done, that will start to drift and you don't have to keep on top of it. You don't have to do that constant rehab, but don't just think, oh yeah, it's starting to feel better, I'm just going to drop everything. Just keep it going for that wee bit longer, take your precautions, and that's going to stop the injury re-flaring back up again. And I suppose the last point I'll make for this video is just get some help. Like, if you feel like you've got an injury that just won't drift, it's been really niggly, you maybe do a certain exercise and it always bothers you, whatever body part, then actually go and get a professional's opinion and someone who can actually help deal with it. Again, I have spent countless hours in rehab. There was a period in my life for about a year and a bit where I was in rehab doing physio work 3 hours a week. Do you know how fucking boring that is? Well, that's just part and parcel of what I had to do to manage my injury at the time, or try and fix it. And you probably won't have to go to that extreme lengths, or you won't be able to go to that extreme lengths, but if it means going and seeing a physio, getting a sports massage, somebody to get hands-on with you to sort of work out your aches and pains and niggles and stuff like that, then that's just what's going to have to take to drift it. So don't just think that, yeah, randomly one day your injury is just going to heal and you can do your stretching and do your rehab on your own, and you might be able to self-diagnose the problem, but who's saying how accurate that's going to be? And yeah, if you need to get a little bit extra help, then so be it, just go and get that help. Hopefully I kept that video a little bit shorter today, because I know it's not the most exciting topic in the world, but please make sure to take care of your injuries And yeah, we don't want anybody getting injured for any length of time, because then it's going to stop you training, stop you gaining, and that's just shite. So yeah, make sure you don't injure yourself and you don't make any injuries worse. There is another 4 things you can do that's going to stop you getting injured. The first thing you can do is like this video. The second thing you can do is subscribe to the channel, which costs you nothing, and you're going to get help every single week from me in the form of a video. If you do want some extra help on top of that, my coaching inquiry form is in the description as well. And on top of that, I've just launched the Shite program, which is going to allow you to be your own coach. So full information about that is on my Instagram page. I'll leave the link to the actual Shite. I don't even know how to say that. I'll leave the link to Shite in the description. You can just go straight to there if that sounds like it's right up your street or down your toilet. That's everything from me. Catch you in the next video.